Let's do a quick painting of a sunflower because it's getting there, that beautiful time of year, for some springy colors. I'm going to use some dandelion, and I'm going to use it on glitter paper, but we're going to use some alloys after, and we're going to see how they work on the glitter paper. Now, I know that alloys are opaque, so we'll see how that works with the glitter paper. I'm just scribbling a little dandelion out, and I'm going to take some alcohol and spritz and use my blower and turning my paper. I don't care where it goes. These make really nice cards. You see how the color of the paper changes? Well, it doesn't matter because it's not going to stay like that. It'll dry back to sparkles. But look at how this blower works with this edging. Really, really nice. If you want to use a pipette with alcohol, you can definitely do that. And you'll get more of a stringy edge, maybe, back and forth. Don't be afraid. It's a sunflower. They're always beautiful. I want this to be bigger than my paper, to feel bigger, I should say. So I'm going to add a lot of alcohol and get this to move. Then after, I'm going to think about what it's going to look like when it's done. Let's get that back up here. Let's put a little more alcohol right there and spritz. Now, in real life, things grow spontaneously, and that's the way the blower works. It works spontaneously, so it works really well. Okay, so that looks pretty nice. Now what I want to do is add some alloys in the middle. I'm going to use mine. Which is opaque, so this is going to be interesting because I want to put some alcohol on it and see what happens. Ooh, that was a lot because it doesn't take much. That was a way lot. I don't know what I'm going to get now. I'm going to put alcohol on it. And now I'm going to spray. Look at the beautiful textures you get with the alloys. Now look at how it breaks and it goes right up on the edge. I love that. So even though it's metallic, I'm noticing, that you can see the sparkle through it. How awesome is this going to be? This is going to be crazy nice. I'm bringing the yellow back in. Mostly I look for a lot of texture myself. All right, and now I'm going to go into a little color. I think I'll use a little ember and put that right in here. Where do I want my light source coming from? From up above maybe. So the reference picture I got is one I took at the farm stand this last fall. And since there's so much alcohol in here, I can still play. Now it's mixing with the mind, so it's working out really nice. I can take a brush and tickle it around as well. I kind of don't like to be a purist. I kind of like using all kinds of equipment. Actually, maybe we can try some of that rosewood that they just came out with, and sienna. Okay, let's try sienna first. Okay, it's darkest at the top. And I'm just dropping ink this time. And now I'm going to tickle it with a juicy brush. I love the texture I'm getting. These make beautiful cards. And that's the sienna color I just used. Now I think I would like to use some of the rosewood and see how that looks on here. Kind of around in here. Using a juicy brush, I'm going to just tickle it this time. And I'm in Tucson, so it's drying a little fast now that the weather has changed. It's now getting pretty warm. And I'm going to go into some of the Dijon, and I want to get it nice and juicy, so it's fresh Dijon. And just put it around the edge, because on the sunflowers have this texture, little floweret things all around the edge, little fuzzies. So it's always, for me, it's a lot of its texture. So there we got that new color Dijon. Dancing it around. I'm going to take a little of the dandelion, and it's very juicy, and I'm going to pop dots so they'll break through. You can also use a little blending solution with your dandelion if you want it even more juicy, especially if it's dry in your palette. You remember how I say that's more like steroids. So I want them lighter over here, so I'm just going to pop some light ones down here using the blending solution and dandelion. All right, so now I want to work on these petals a little more. I'm going to go back into my Dijon. I have to think about the names of these things. They're all new to me. And I'm just going to put a little of that on there and then blow it out with alcohol into the yellow. Because Dijon is like an ochre, and I really like it. And you see how that nice, beautiful color change I'm getting. And you can always go back and forth. You're never, ever, stuck. Just use a ton of alcohol if you want it to move. You're allowed to bring it up in a line and give it a spritz. Bring it up in a little line. It's kind of like folded petals as they're growing out. Ordinarily, I'd be turning this, but I think it might be easier for you to see this way. But look how lovely this card is. This is a great card. I got so many birthdays coming up. And since we can't go anywhere, all they'll get is a card. So if you're lucky enough to get one of these blowers, they're called Tim Holtz air blower. They really work well. I think this is like as important as a brush because I like using both and I go back and forth all the time. And I love this Dijon. I love yellow ochre. I'm gonna turn this. I just cannot do it that way. It's so difficult. There we go. See how it makes these beautiful? You gotta turn it. It's just the only way you get that really nice effect. It's like painting with the universe. Let the ink do what it wants to do. Don't force it. Go back with my dandelion and kind of wiggle back and forth along that line to blend a little. might even use a little blending solution in with that, with my dry dandelion, and just dance it in and out, and then use my blower. Sometimes it moves, sometimes it doesn't. Add more ink and you can get it to move. There you go. I don't want them all the same height. I want them in and out. It looks more realistic. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Just blending now a little bit. The alcohol, give it a blow in this direction. Doesn't always go that way. Sometimes you get a leaf coming over. Who knows? I'd go with whatever the universe gives me. Going back into dandelion and a lot of alcohol. I like the way that's looking, don't you? I like that. You put an end on it and you like it, leave it alone. You don't like it, fix it. Look how pretty this is. What? Took 2 seconds. So get your inks out. Start playing. You got the time now. Let's do something with it. Do something fun. You never have time to paint. This is your chance. Let's make lemonade out of lemons, right? Let's reinforce some of this now. I want to go into some teak wood, and I want it to reinforce the dark right inside of here a little bit. And I'm just dancing, tapping back and forth. It's because that makes it go inward and gives you depth. And I almost see it right here. Can you almost see the center? So I don't need a lot. I just need a little bit of a center feeling. I don't have to paint the whole thing like it's a photograph. I just have to make it convincing. I'm going in a little more ember because I like that color, and it's dark. A little more teak wood. And right in here, it's gonna push in. Right inside. Using a little more teak wood, using a little sienna. Just tapping it on here, making a value change from the center. I would like to lighten again, so what I'm going to do is take some more blending solution in my dandelion kind of color. I'm just dropping ink, basically. I'm just dropping blending solution, and give it a blot. Oh, I love that. Little drops. Just tickle it in to soften. And that's how you get the light back. You really got to use a Kleenex or a napkin. It really works so good at lifting and nice textures. And let's put a little texture here. I like it. The light's coming this way. You're going to see a little light there. Little alcohol, move it around a little bit. Soften. You can always come back with a little more ember and just soften that in. Give some design to this a little bit. Some earrings. And now take that dirty brush and dance it on the lighter spots to get the yellow back. And I'm using dandelion. Use a little alcohol and give it a blot. See how it lightens up a bit? It's a lovely card. Let's use some Everglade and a ton of alcohol. Let's turn it and let's blow it out. How beautiful all those little holes are. I just want to alcohol that and let it blend. I like it. I'm leaving it alone. Right. Okay, I like that. Let's put another leaf up here. Another one up in here. And blow. Oop, not enough. Lots more alcohol. Bring it down. You can sculpt some of these petals out. It's a great opportunity. Do some detail work if you want to. It wants to slide around on me. I just want to soften that line. Pulls me off the paper, and I don't want that. I want it to keep me in to where my center of interest is, right in there. All right, you can take that dirty brush and just put a tint of green without having to put a lot in. Oh, or you can put a lot in. Happy accidents, right? And carve some more leaves out. You can do anything. Just going to use alcohol now, just that dirty brush, and bring that in and give me a tint of flavor without a lot of information. I think I would like a little more shape right here, so I'm going to take a little more of that green and just work it out. Flip it around. Boy, I'm really flipping around today. And just blow it. I do want you to come into this picture. And it makes it interesting when you break things up a little bit, don't you think? I'm just going to take that dirty brush and dance it around. Since I used yellow, it doesn't matter. It's going to mix fine. But I just want this to fade away. So here's a nice little greeting card. So anyway, here you go. I think that gives you an idea on how it works with the glitter. Now I want to look at this a little bit, and I don't see a lot of shine from the, I want to heat this up a little bit and see what happens. I'm using a heat gun by Ranger. It really works good at getting the ink to set up really quick. And I'm seeing a lot of sparkle in this. Looks really nice. Of course, you can do as much as you want. You can use a lifting pen and add a little more details. Maybe get a little bit of more fuzzies here and there. I know that Chameleon makes a really good lifting pen. Maybe get one of theirs. Anyway, you can do anything you want, but I thought that was a nice little idea. I need a bug, bee, right in there. So I'm going into black. And it kind of curls when they're on something. They kind of curl around. Now is soften. Basically, it's a pill shape. Let's just make it easy. Now where his little wings are, I'm just gonna put a little alcohol and blot. And let it be soft. Use that dirty brush, make them soft. Okay, now I'm going to put a little alcohol right in here where the yellow will go and blot. And now I'm going to go into some of the yellow and put it right in there. Some of the dandelion. And I'm just going to soften these little winglets. Just scribbling into it back and forth just to lighten it up. Go into some of the rosewood. So you can fuss with this, like I say, quite a bit because I'm rushing, I'm making mistakes, but it doesn't matter. I need a shadow under here. Put that shadow up there a little more. Bring it around so it brings her to the bee. I go back to my yellow. Give it a pop and blot. Give it another pop of yellow and blot. I'm lifting off the edge of the shadow so it isn't so strong. Just softening the edge. That's pretty convincing. I don't like so much around the top of his head, so I'm going to soften that back as well. He's going in for some pollen. And like I say, I'm not making a portrait. I just want to give the idea of some life in my picture. I find that I like a little life in my pictures. Bring the light into your shadows. It works better. And voila. I mean, you can see how much you can fuss with these things, right? So, till next time, everybody, happy painting!